Welcome back to the Triple Double Watch, guys. We are back with another NBA video because there's a lot of big news that has gone down, few big trades, and so we're going to hop straight into it. The first big news of the day is the Donovan Mitchell trade to the Cavaliers.
Well, of the week.
Yeah, the week.
Didn't happen today.
Yeah. Yeah, we're a little late. So, of the week. How long has it been? Like 3 days now? 2 days?
Let's see. This article I'm looking at was September 1st. It is September 4th.
Yeah. And you're seeing
this will be on September 5th.
Yeah.
So, Donovan Mitchell. I didn't even intentionally wear it. I didn't even think about it. My guy, Donovan Mitchell.
We're both wearing the college shirts.
Yeah. I didn't actually go here, but I got accepted there.
Yeah.
Moving along, Donovan Mitchell, he got sent to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Utah is going full rebuild, it seems. They got back Lauri Markkanen, rookie Ochai Agbaji. Colin Sexton agreed to a sign and trade.
Yep, 4 years, $72 million.
3 unprotected first-round picks for 25, 27, 29, and pick swaps in 26 and 28. So, obviously, we'll get into it more, but I like it for the Cavs, but I really like it for the Jazz. If you're going to go full rebuild, they got a lot back, and they're looking like the OKC Jazz.
Yeah, pretty much. And I almost like them more than the Thunder already, like their rebuild, because they still have a direction. At some point, you can have too many picks.
Well, I think it's very similar.
Well, it is, but I like...
They both have their star guard now.
I feel like the Jazz still have more established players, though.
Yeah.
And the problem I feel like the Thunder might run into in a year or two is they're going to have all these draft picks, and at some point they're going to have to consolidate them into a star player, which can be difficult to do. But both rebuilds are going well already. So when Gobert got traded to the Timberwolves, did you think Mitchell was guaranteed to be shipped out too then?
I didn't think it was guaranteed. It's more likely, obviously, but I didn't think it was guaranteed. They still had pieces they could have built around, but it's not surprising that they went this way.
Yeah, and the package they got back was great.
Yeah.
Markkanen's still really young and showed flashes last year. Agbaji is
playing small forward.
Yeah, exactly. Agbaji is definitely going to be a great role player at the very least in any contending team. And Sexton's got a lot of upside, and then 3 first-round picks is great.
Yeah,
but I did want to see 1 year of Mitchell and a different center and a little bit of a different supporting cast. I wanted to see 1 year of what that looked like in Utah before they blew it up, but obviously that's not going to be the case.
Yeah.
So
they made 2 great trades though for giving up their stars. They got a lot back for both of them, so it looks good for them.
So we'll swing over to the Cavs side now. I mean,
I've already had multiple arguments, debates over the look of the Cavs next year.
Yeah, I mean, the starting lineup is stacked now. You got Garland at the 1, Mitchell at the 2, Okoro or Karis LeVert at the 3, and then Evan Mobley at the 4, Jared Allen at the 5. Still have Kevin Love off the bench. Still have Ricky Rubio coming back eventually off the bench. Whoever doesn't start between Okoro and LeVert. So a lot of solid guys, some young guys still that'll step into bench roles in the regular season. The roster looks really good.
Yeah, I love it. I have been talking to people. I think they could fight for a top 3 seed in the East. I think
Absolutely.
And everybody I've talked to is the East has all these teams. I'm not saying they don't, but this team, I think they fit perfectly together. You have your guards that can score at will. You have Okoro, and who's similar to Agbaji, and like a 3-and-D wing kind of guy. LeVert can go score, and then you got Jared Allen, who is a great center for them, and then Mobley's one of the best young guys in the league. So
yeah,
I really like it. And those bench pieces you mentioned, if you think about in the playoffs, those guys are going to be solid pieces in the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. That 8-man we just mentioned would be like the 8-man rotation come a playoff series, fully healthy. And Kevin Love off the bench is still perfect for this team, too. He stepped into a great role last season, and him playing with Mobley or Jared Allen is a perfect tandem, too, then, off the bench. If I had to predict right now, I'd say they're a 5, maybe a 4 seed. I still like 76ers, Celtics, and Bucks better, those 3. But they'll be competing with each of them night in, night out for sure now.
Yeah,
so
I definitely think they could even jump one of those teams. At
Yeah,
least
and I'm still really high on Brooklyn, assuming they, we can swing to that now.
Yeah.
I'm still really high on Brooklyn. The news now is KD will be staying.
Although there's execs that still think he's going to get traded.
Yeah, just because he said he wanted to get traded a month ago or whatever doesn't mean he's going to, and just because he said he's staying now doesn't mean some team's not going to offer 3 young players 4 picks all of a sudden, and then the Nets are like, well, maybe we do it. And so, but
if they did that, they could look like the Cavs.
yeah, exactly. So
have a star and then key role players and young guys. So
if they keep KD, Kyrie, Ben Simmons comes back in some capacity, I still really like this Nets team. I think they're in the upper echelon of the East still.
I would.
A lot went wrong last year.
Yeah, I would have them almost as favorites.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
talking about more of the KD stuff, I mean, if you're the general manager or the front office or Steve Nash even, I mean, what's your thought process going through all this? Like, how are you trying to gear up with Kyrie and KD?
It had to be a rough road, but I feel like it's a business, and if you've got his word that he's going to be committed, you got to just look forward.
Yeah.
You cannot look back. So I feel like they're going to have a great year if they stay together. If Ben Simmons plays, though, like we said, it'll be great, I think.
Yeah.
So you can't look back at this point, I don't think.
Yeah, and having KD's word, I mean, no matter what you trade, with KD and Kyrie, you're a championship contender, automatically. Yeah. You trade one of the two, for this year alone, you're not. And so I think you got to go for it when you can. And so they would have to have the most insane trade offer on the board for them to open up trade talks again. But staying in the trade rumor, we're going to swing over to the other New York team, the Knicks. And how they did not complete any trades this offseason. I don't think a single one, I guess.
Well, they did the draft thing where they traded their draft pick.
But they were high in the Donovan Mitchell news, too. Sent a package.
Their offer was R.J. Barrett, Mitchell Robinson. Was it Obi Toppin was the third?
Yes.
And
then
a bunch of
2 picks, I think. I think they were
swaps.
unwilling to give a 3rd pick, is what I heard.
Yeah.
And as far as the Jazz went, I don't know if the Jazz were very high on Mitchell Robinson or Obi Toppin.
I think it would have been Mitch Robinson probably would have been a good fit for them, though. I mean, right now their centers, I've seen their projected center is McDaniels from the Timberwolves trade, but they also have Kessler.
Well, I get that, but when you're trading Mitchell too, it's a full rebuild at that point. So looking in the future, did they care about Mitchell Robinson now is what I'm saying. So it's like,
I don't know if he would have swung the team that much if you did a full rebuild.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Maybe they like Lauri Markkanen 3 years down the line, and they like Abaji 3 years down the line more than the other guys. But the Knicks don't get the trade done. It was word that they thought they were the only team kind of in trade talks with the Jazz for Donovan Mitchell. And then the Cavs swooped in, and the rest is history already.
I was kind of shocked by the Cavs. They came out of nowhere, so I can see that for sure.
But what is the direction of this Knicks team now, going into just this season even?
I mean, I guess you roll with your guys. You got Jalen Brunson, but you got the all lefties. You got Brunson, Barrett,
all lefty too.
Randall. It's still solid. I mean, is it a contender? No. But they should make the playoffs or play in. So, you just can't do much else. You just got to go with who you got now.
And I think we talked about this on the off-season recap. It's just like, you made improvements to your team this offseason, but what's the end goal here?
Yeah.
And the end goal would have to be make the big splash, go all in on Donovan Mitchell, and maybe it doesn't pan out, but it gives your fan base excitement. It gives your team a new look. It hopefully gets you at least a 4 or 5 seed, and then anything can happen then at least. This team now just looks like a 6 at the most, really.
Yeah.
So
I don't see them going very far if they get in.
I think they're like an almost auto first-round loss.
Especially if they have to face the Hawks and their owner.
Exactly.
King of New York.
Exactly. Further along the trade rumors, the biggest one floating around now is all the Jazz pieces left. Mitchell and Gobert are gone, but still have guys like Mike Conley on a big contract, but could help a team out. Bogdanovich on a decent contract, definitely could help a team out. And Jordan Clarkson on a pretty decent contract, definitely could help a team out.
I know a team they could help out.
And we know a team, or you definitely know a team.
I know a team they could help out, and I know a guy that we can get rid of that will help out the Jazz. I mean, he's got 1 year left, so that helps the rebuild, I think. So, that's the Lakers, by the way, in case you guys haven't watched before. We have been in talks with them, apparently. You said it was Russ and a pick.
Yeah.
I'd do that in a heartbeat. But will the Jazz is the question here.
Yeah, so I read an article where the Lakers have their 2027 first rounder and they have their 2029 first rounder.
Yeah, those are hot commodities.
And those are super hot commodities because the general thought process of the league is those might be super high picks in 5 years.
LeBron leaves.
If LeBron, well, in 5 years, LeBron would probably be retired at that point. And who knows what happens with AD. They've already traded away a lot of other picks. So, yeah, they could always retool, but it would be hard to be in a championship status after LeBron's done. You know, that's just the fact of the matter. You look at the Cavs, you look at the Heat for a few years after he left them. And so those picks are hot commodities, and the Lakers look unwilling to part with both picks in a trade.
Yeah.
But if you're the Jazz, well, I don't see what value Russ and one pick gives you because
it gives you
you don't even want Russ, but you don't even really want Russ to help you out. And so, like, we talked about this a little bit.
This to the Thunder team he was on at the end of.
Yeah, I mean for sure, but would the Jazz even want that? And that's the thing.
I don't know. It gets rid of 3 big contracts for one that's going to expire.
That's true. It does expire.
Pick,
yeah.
And like you said, that pick might be high. But I did want to mention while we were on it, the part where LeBron has agreed to a 2-year contract extension.
Yep.
So he'll be there through 25 at least. Now after that is the question. So
yeah, exactly.
That's why these draft picks are so huge. 2 years, $97 million is a lot of money too. So forgot all about that till we just started talking about it. So I'll throw that in there.
And we talked before the episode briefly too. Like, I just feel like Bogdanovich is not super old yet. He's definitely getting up there, but his contract's good enough. He looked good enough last year. I feel like you could get a first-round pick for him alone, wherever you send him, maybe, depending on the contender. Conley's a different story. Conley and Clarkson you'd probably have to pair together somehow, but you probably could get one first-round pick for that. It just feels like if you're not walking away from all 3 of those players with at least 2 picks, you're getting a little bit jiffed. And so we'll see how that all plays out, but the Lakers would be a great landing spot for them. And the Lakers have also been in talks for Buddy Hield and
I feel like
Miles
that
Turner
considerably helps our whole look of the team. I mean, he would start.
Almost all 3 of them were starters.
Yeah.
Jordan Clarkson would probably be 6th man.
Probably, yeah. Clarkson would probably be on the bench, and we'd probably start Thomas Bryant at the 5 still. So it would probably be Conley, Bogdanovich, Braun, AD, and Thomas Bryant. So it's much better than what we're looking at.
Yeah, with them still Pat Bev off the bench,
also,
Austin Reeves.
Did we mention the Taylor Horton Tucker?
We did not.
He got traded.
Pat Bev's on the Lakers.
Traded to Utah.
Yeah.
So ironically, we've already made a deal with them.
Yeah.
For Pat Bev. So, I'm still so highly questioning that move. If we're apparently talking about running Russ and Pat Bev in lineups.
The Taylor Horton Tucker Lakers community and NBA community in general is so split. You either think he's amazing or
I don't think he's amazing.
Or
I think
terrible.
He has high potential.
I still fall in between where I just think he's like forever going to be a role player. But some people still think he'll be an all-star, and some people think he'll be out of the league in 2 years.
I've watched him more than other people, I think, and when he's on, he's great.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's still young, so I think he's perfect for the Utah.
In this rebuild, for sure.
I don't know about the return for him, but
other small news: Danilo Gallinari for the Celtics tore his ACL playing for Italy. That was a big signing in the offseason for them.
This EuroLeague,
it's brutal.
It's been wild.
It's been brutal.
I've seen Giannis over there, Jokic. I saw today that who was it? Korkmaz was getting attacked by another team. I was like, what in the world is going on?
It's a wild scene in the Euro. But Gallinari was going to be a big piece.
Shout out Shane Larkin. Saw he was over there.
Exactly.
On Korkmaz's team.
And so he was going to be like sixth man, maybe starting, whatever. He's going to be a great piece for him. So he's gone now, presumably for the whole year. So yeah, and then
shout out Kyler. He was hyped about getting Gallinari. That's tough.
And now he can. Maybe we should. No, never mind. We're not,
oh no!
I'm sorry, Kyler.
He can relate.
I hope you're watching. And I'm sorry.
He can relate.
Yeah, that's all we'll say. And to
maybe
wrap up,
they can meet up. It's a bonding experience
together. That'd be cool.
It would be cool. We'll get on that for you, Kai.
Just a few free agents kind of lurking around. May go to contenders. Montrezl Harrell.
Yeah. Technically Miles Bridges.
Yeah.
He's probably not going to be around for a little bit still. We got Dwight Howard's technically a free agent.
Carmelo.
Melo. A lot of old Lakers.
Isaiah Thomas, if you want him.
Yeah,
Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder's a good one.
A lot of former Lakers. Trevor Reese.
Is LaMarcus Aldridge re-signed?
No.
So LaMarcus Aldridge. I think Blake Griffin too. So yeah, LaMarcus Aldridge, Blake Griffin.
Why'd you say James Harden?
I don't know. That must be old.
This is NBA.com.
So, a lot of vets. I mean, I still think LaMarcus Aldridge, Blake Griffin might have something in the tank too. So keep a lookout for them too. Yeah. But overall, it's been a fun video. It's an exciting time of the year. All four sports are revving up for the major sports. We're having a lot of fun. So next video, be on the lookout for NFL Week 1, a little bit of previews and predictions. So we're going to have some fun with it.
About that time.
So until next time, though, we appreciate you. Peace.